Hey, Kaiza here with the final Japan video for this trip. Today I'm gonna visit a shop called Blue Lug that every off-road enthusiast must know. My friends have been raving about it, so I decided to check it out. I finally loaded the Japanese maps onto my Wahoo Roam, so navigation should be a bit easier today. Japanese roads are incredibly complicated, so I had to keep checking the maps multiple times. But anyways, let's head towards Blue Lug. After navigating through narrow and winding roads, I finally reached a larger road. Japan has wide bike lanes, which is great for cycling. The roads are also amazingly well maintained, allowing for smooth riding when you pick up speed. There were plenty of traffic lights, but there were hardly any red lights, thankfully. However, like in the US, there are many cars parked in the bike lanes. And since Japan often has only one car lane, it can be quite frustrating, but the advantage is that the surrounding cars move slower, so you can safely exit the bike lane. One interesting thing I noticed in Japan is when a truck comes from behind making a loud noise. Based on the sound, I expect something big to pass by like a semi, but it turns out to be a truck about the size of an American pickup truck. So it's not that bad. It's really reassuring to know that most cars around here won't cause immediate death. After that, I encountered a road that seemed like a market street. I don't really know what to call roads like this where lots of shops are lined up, but the area was pretty crowded and a little bit stressful, not gonna lie. To be honest, all the roads in Japan are, unfamiliar and stressful to me, but it's scary how people just come out from various places and you never know where the pedestrians will turn. There's also many people who walk on the opposite side of the typical direction, so Japan definitely has its own challenges too.
They literally all look the same, oh my god.
One thing I noticed a lot in Japan is the 90-degree turns. Small intersections are neatly divided by walls at 90 degrees, so you can't see anything even if someone is coming. In the US, which is a car-centric society, there's something called sight distance that determines the distance that you should be able to see from a turning point. So intersections where you can't see anything aren't really that common, except for old roads in the United States.
This is for cars. Holy shit. 大関。道あんのこれ。絶対あるのこれ。マジか。すげえ。This is most definitely another super small road. By the way, cars come here. Neko! Yeah, 逃げた。こんにちは。にゃお。逃げた。
Japan also has narrow roads, which many of them are two-way streets. I'm really curious to know what you do when cars meet up in the middle, like who chooses to back out. In the latter part of the journey, the route started to get twisty and complicated, even though I made the route. I had to take a detour instead of going straight on the larger road because I just wasn't really sure what the roads were gonna be like. But eventually, I arrived near Blue Lug and went to see the shop. Visiting the shop in person is the most enjoyable experience, so I didn't really film that much. Outside, there were lots of bikes belonging to customers and staff members. There were super cool fixies around there too. The shop itself was much wider than I imagined. It was really big actually, and it had a unique atmosphere that you don't find in ordinary shops. Inside, there were many steel frames, each one meticulously assembled with different designs, and they just looked absolutely beautiful. And in the back, they had some Blue Lug clothing items like shirts, hooded jackets, hats, and some more. Then there were some small accessories. I saw some interesting keychains and lots of bar tape. There were many designs of bar tape that I'd never seen before, and they also had bottles, headset stuff, and plenty of bike locks and lights. Next up, there were lots of Brooks saddles, handlebars, wheels, and cranksets. They pretty much had everything you could think of. I haven't tried using Brooks saddles, but I wonder if they're actually really that good. I am curious, but they're also pretty expensive. Then there were plenty of Panaracer tires. The variety is impressive. They also had various maintenance tools on display. Lastly, there were some standing penguins, American cans of soup, wine bottle openers, and even a mini FedEx truck, despite being in Japan. Anyways, after spending a long time looking around and buying the things I wanted, it's time to head back. Unfortunately, I don't have enough funds to buy everything I want, and it's getting pretty late in the evening, but at least I know the way back, so it was a relaxing ride, even with the number of people. This is the last video of my trip to Japan. If you haven't seen the previous 2 parts, make sure to check them out. Finally, just as I finished, a fire truck arrived, and from the opposite direction, a compact car that didn't really have that much space to move. So that's fun. Japan is quite something. Well then, thank you so much for watching. I really enjoyed making this video, and I hope you had a fun time watching. Bye!